Hey, Stonebriar family. My name is Sarah McFarlane, and I'm on staff as Ministry Coordinator of Connecting and Equipping Ministries. And today I want to talk to you about something that's a really big part of my testimony, and that's anxiety. So, as we all know, in this day and age, anxiety has become sort of an epidemic. A lot of people from all ages and life stages are really struggling with anxiety, and I think it's become even more prevalent now in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, also social unrest, political divisions, all of the things in our culture that are causing fear and uncertainty. So, I just wanted to take a few minutes and share my experience and history with anxiety and also share with you what calms me down when I'm feeling anxious. So, about 10 years ago, I started experiencing very serious anxiety. I was having probably about 10 serious panic attacks a day. I was having to call into work very often. I had to drop out of school for a time. I was isolating myself. I wasn't wanting to leave my house if I didn't have to. I was just completely gripped and overwhelmed by fear and anxiety. And at this time in my life, I was not a Christian, so I really didn't have any sort of spiritual rudder to see me through. So I was looking into some New Age practices and also some Eastern religions and philosophies, just anything to try and find peace and meaning in my life again. The thing is, though, at the heart of these practices, philosophies, and religions, I was expected to really fix myself. And when you're having 10 panic attacks a day, you can't really fix yourself. So in desperation one night when I was having a panic attack, I reached into my parents' bookcase for the Bible, and I never really read the Bible before, so I didn't know what I was doing. I just let the Bible open, and my eyes went directly to Psalm 94:19. And Psalm 94:19 says, "When anxiety was great within me, your consolations brought me joy." And this was a huge turning point for me in my struggle with anxiety because even though I still had anxiety and I would still have anxiety for many years after that, I finally had hope for the first time since my anxiety started. I had this scripture to meditate on and to reflect on and to remind me that God was with me and I was not facing this by myself and I didn't have to fix myself. God was there with me. And the interesting thing about Psalm 94:19 is we don't know who wrote the psalm, but we do know the psalm was written during a time when the church was facing serious violent persecution. So we can assume that the psalmist was also facing violent persecution as well, and he could have been fearing for his very life. So the thing that's so interesting about this psalm is that the psalmist was not praising God for restoration. He wasn't praising God for, taking him away from this violent situation and restoring and healing him. He was praising God for his presence. He was praising God for being with him and walking him through his fear and through his anxiety. And if you're somebody who's struggling with anxiety, you can do the same thing. You can know that God will minister to you and mentor you just like he ministered and mentored to the psalmist. You might be walking through the darkest days of your life right now. You might feel like you're completely alone. You might feel like you don't know what you can do, and you might feel like you're never going to be the same again. But I just want to tell you, as somebody who's gone through serious anxiety and someone who's on the other side, that you're going to be okay. God is never going to abandon you. God cares for you. He loves you, and he wants to walk you through this season. So I really want to encourage you every day to reflect on Psalm 94:19 and know that when anxiety is great within you, God's consolations will bring you joy.